What is going on? You're listening to episode 212 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Player 2, Mr. Run Jump Stomp. What's going on?
Hey, Josh. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, this was the kind of just impromptu, like, Discord chat. Pudding was like, hey, you should talk to Run Jump Stomp about the Super Mario Maker online multiplayer debacle. And so here we are. And we're just gonna jump right in. Like we're just gonna go. Like this is like I said, it's kind of an impromptu podcast. And what is your initial thought with this? What did you think? Let me ask you this: did you think, based on the direct, that we had online multiplayer with friends?
I wasn't sure. Like when I saw the direct, that's one of the questions that I asked. Was did they actually say that we could play online with friends? And I think I saw somebody ask that, and I was like, oh, well, I just assumed that we did, but now that you ask that, I went back and watched it again, and I was like, they never expressly said that. So I think that the writing was on the wall from the very start. And what about you?
I think the inclusion of like co-op in multiplayer, that is what kind of triggered in my head, like, yeah, we're probably going to be able to, set up a room, invite friends, and be able to play. And then what really kind of solidified it for me was the fact that they were doing this invitational, this esport event, and that made me think too, like, oh, okay, maybe we can do, like, I was even talking about it on the new Super Mario Maker podcast, like maybe I'll be able to host tournaments. And well, as of right now, that's not going to be the case. We're gonna have to queue up like Fortnite and try to get in the same game together.
All right, go.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, and, I think I tweeted that out, like, what the life will find a way, right? I mean, we always end up finding workarounds for things like that. But at some point, it's like this game now feels like 3/4 there instead of being 100% there. And so I guess I should just give everybody fair warning. There may be a little salt over the next few minutes here, just kind of discussing this. So, and like I said before the show started, I'm not mad. Nintendo, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Okay. So, but, yeah, it's the unfortunate thing is today was kind of supposed to be a day of exciting news for Super Mario Maker. Game Explain, IGN, Kotaku, many outlets were releasing videos that they went to an event last week in New York and got a bunch of footage, things like that. And then this kind of just overshadowed everything. And now here we are talking about what seems like, to me, it seems like the misstep in the like what I would consider their third game that's kind of like a mess online. Like Aces wasn't the best when it came to the online, at least in the beginning, and Super Mario Party is still like really like, what do you have, 5 mini games and they said here's online.
Yeah. Online quotes.
Yeah, it's on the box. So
here, we're going to give you online. This is Nintendo's new strategy. We're going to give you online that is so bad that you will stop asking us for it. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Plumber from chat says ARMS is the top online Switch game. Deal with it. ARMS nailed online so well.
They did.
So well. Why can't we just have that again? But yeah, so let's just kind of break it down. Like you went onto Twitter. It looked like you put up like a wall of text, like right off the bat. Were you pretty frustrated?
Well, I was surprised, and I was just kind of thinking it over, and I was so sure that Nintendo, like, I've said this a lot on my show in the past, it's the new Nintendo. Like, they're learning they're finally learning. And I was expecting that all of the worry that many of us had about the fact that they didn't come out and say you can play online with your friends, like they didn't come out and say that. I thought, nah, we're just being, it's the new Nintendo. And it's clearly not the new Nintendo. Like there's all these tripwires. It's like when you're driving down the road and there's a speed bump there. And there's a giant sign that says, hey, there's a speed bump right here. And Nintendo clearly has like blackout glasses on when they're driving, and they're just ignoring the speed bumps. Because I mean, first off, we weren't sure whether or not this article was I don't want to say true or not, because I have no doubt that Nintendo World Report was reporting accurate information. But many of us were like, well, maybe the guy from Treehouse just didn't really know what he was talking about. And then to have Game Explain reach out to Nintendo and have Nintendo say, oh yeah, that's true. And then I was just like, what the hell? I mean, really, Nintendo? This is not cool. Mm-hmm. So what was your initial reaction?
At first was hope, because I think Polygon reported that you could do multiplayer with friends, right? And so that was my initial response, was like, okay, well, somebody's got to get to the bottom of this eventually. And then it was, like you said, Game Explain, and then I saw Spawnwave tweet out that, yeah, sure enough, this is the case. And it honestly, it just kind of took a little bit of the wind out of my sails. Now, look, I have played Mario Maker on the 3DS. I know how bad it can be. But I think, like I said earlier, it just makes this feel like it's not a complete package. Like this was looking to be, and again, I mean, it's our expectations based on an assumption, right? And so I'm not one to to really go on like rants or to complain. I mean, we're talking about entertainment, right? At the end of the day, that's what this boils down to. But still, as as part of the Nintendo community, as a gamer, and as somebody wanting Nintendo to really put its best foot forward when it comes to this stuff, right? So that they want to sell Nintendo Switch Online. They pitched it hardcore at the end of the Direct with this game. And to have something like you can't even play with your friends in this game after showcase, it's like, I don't know. It's like showcasing what they could do, but they decide not to do in a way. And it's like, it's, as a consumer and all the ideas that just kind of went through my head as a content creator and things like that, like playing with the community. And I think that's one of the things that seems to be the most disappointing to people is we were going to have the chance to play together. Like that was one of their slides from the Direct, right? And well, really it's to play with randoms for a rank on a leaderboard that honestly, when I saw that, was like, oh, that's cool. It's a little novelty. I'm probably going to do that once. And then I'm just going to, play with stream or play with my friends. That's literally the thoughts that came into my mind when I saw that. And then
there's far more people that care about being able to play with their friends than care about getting the high score.
Exactly. And a lot of times the people that care about that high score will do whatever they can to get there, including cheat, right? So it's like it's not even something that's all that relevant. And so that's what I don't like. I mean, is there somebody on within these the meetings and things like that that's like sitting back from like the 80s going, yeah, high score is still important to people, like remember the leaderboard in the arcade? We got to make sure we keep that alive. It's like, well, I don't know that, especially in a game like Super Mario Maker. Like I don't know. And Pudding's been saying it a lot too. He's just like, if they just get rid of the rank system and just allow us to play with friends so nobody's cheating the rank or whatever that is, let's do that. And I think the other thing that's so surprising, I mean, look back to Xbox Live, the infancy of console online multiplayer. You were playing ranked mode, you were playing private matches, you were playing, exhibition matches, whatever the case, it was all there. And here in 2019, Nintendo still can't seem to get the whole package together. And it just kind of leaves me wondering why.
Right. I almost feel like Nintendo is just burying their head. Josh just got done talking about all of the ways that these problems have been solved already. And Nintendo, instead of looking at those examples and saying, hey, why don't we steal from there? Why don't we steal from there? Instead, they're just burying their head in the sand and pretending that they are the video game industry. They're like, Microsoft? Who is Microsoft? It sounds like they're a small company, Microsoft. Nintendo is burying their head in the sand and just trying to do everything on their own. And they're hitting those same speed bumps that everybody else has driven past. It's like in have you ever played Dark Souls?
Oh, yeah.
You know how if you get killed in Dark Souls, like it shows you like the next person that comes through can see how you died?
Right, yeah.
It's like Nintendo is coming through and they're like, oh, look at all these warning signs, and they're just ignoring them. And I know that there's a lot of people out there. There's people who are the glass is half full kind of people, and they're I don't want to say Nintendo apologists, but they're just filled with hope, and they believe that Nintendo is going to patch this later. And I don't think there's a chance in hell of that happening, because it seems to me like Nintendo, like they've said, we don't want to screw up the leaderboards. So Nintendo has put their foot, they've drawn a line in the sand, and they're saying, no, you don't get to play with your friends. They've made that decision. And I don't see them walking that back and saying, oh, you know what? A lot of you guys really wanted to play with your friends. So with Mario Maker 2 patch 1.7, we're going to go ahead and bring the ability to play with your friends. I just don't see Nintendo changing their mind. Do you?
Because of Super Mario Party, like if nothing happens with Super Mario Party this E3, if there's not like a big DLC pack announced and a free update with the ability to play the boards online, things like that, then it's doubtful. The thing that doesn't make a lot of sense is so many of the additions to Super Mario Maker 2 were things the community asked for in the first game, and Nintendo listened. So for some reason, there's this strange disconnect. It seems like on one hand, you look at a game like Aces. They've continued to support that game. There was a big uproar in the balancing with Bowser Jr., things like that. And Nintendo was like right there to get a patch, get that game more balanced. And, and they did. Smash, same kind of thing, like lots of updates. They seem to be sticking with it. And then you see Super Mario Party. It's just a ghost town. Like, they just threw that game out there and said, Odyssey still was getting costumes up until a few months ago, right? Yeah. It was still seeing love. So, maybe it's the kind of thing that they will hear us, but it's not only the potential of playing with friends, but like when they said hand a Joy-Con off and be able to create levels together, even that would have been something fun to do online, to see, to possibly do races with a group of people, two people each take on a stage and try to create something as fast as they can. Just things like that. It's the amount of content and creativity that kind of just got like taken away from us at this point. It's more than just the ability to play together. It's the ability for the community to really like add to it, right? And create something cool. The Mario Maker community already does like races and things like that through different stages, and they would have been able potentially they would have been able to do that like do a four person multi-stream and everybody doing the same levels, and just the amount of shenanigans and laughter that would have happened during that, I guarantee it would have been great content, and it would have been something that sells games ultimately. And I've already started seeing comments that are like, that's a deal breaker for me. I'm not even going to purchase the game now because I can't play this. Granted, it was something we were not even told it was happening, but it was just kind of assumed. And I wonder, do you think, even the way they marketed it, do you think they kind of gave the impression that it was there, even though they never outright said it? And if so, it's almost shady marketing in a way.
I do feel like, I don't know if it was intentional, but I do feel like that was my initial reaction when I first saw the direct was, hot damn, we're going to be able to play this game online with our friends. I was planning on doing community stuff just like you were, because that stuff is really, really fun, and it's a great way to build a community, is to kind of swarm around one game. And you know what this reminds me of a lot? It reminds me a lot of Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers has online. You can play with your friends. You can have a room. But then there's this awesome tournament mode that they have built. Mm-hmm. Then you can't use any of that cool tournament stuff when you play online. And that always rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I know that you've done Smash Brothers tournaments, and I did for my community as well. But it was so much extra work that had to go into making that happen, instead of just using the stuff that they designed that's to be played with the person next to you. And what's his name in chat here? Plumber with some numbers. Plumber 4578 said, Nintendo thinks we are all getting together somewhere on a rooftop playing with our Switch in tabletop mode. And they're absolutely right. I mean, if you look at the marketing, that's what they think is happening. And I actually think, I could be wrong, but I think I saw a tweet today from Nintendo of America that said, it was a poll, and it was like, do you usually play on the go or at home? And for me, I voted because I was like, I want to see the damn results. I voted at home because that's how I usually play my Switch. It's very rare that I play it on the go. That doesn't mean that I don't think that that's a cool ass feature, but I very rarely play that on the go. And when I clicked and I saw the results, I was floored. So many people are playing it at home and not taking advantage of the portability of it. And I think Nintendo sees that and they're like, damn, okay, we need to find a way to get people to play on the go. I know we won't let them play online. It's like, I don't know. I can't wrap my head around what Nintendo's reasoning is, because the reason that they gave is just ridiculous.
And the other thing too, you brought up Smash. Aces was the same way. The focal point of online for that game was tournament mode, where you played against randoms. Yet we can't just easily set up a tournament to play online with friends. Like, I don't quite understand. It doesn't seem like, especially at that point, if it's like we're already using an online tournament with matchmaking, why can't they just say, hey, invite 12 friends to a lobby and do a tournament? This is what kind of just I don't know. It's really strange. Pudding brought up Splatoon. You could do Turf War with friends, but then if you wanted to play any of the other modes other than like you can't just do ranked with friends. You can't take your team into ranked. You have to do what they call it, league or whatever. And it's, well, your rank or whatever that only shows up from playing by yourself with randoms, trying to communicate and have teamwork. It's just like,
Booyah! Over here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's, yeah. And then even he's saying in chat, like Turf War, you weren't guaranteed to be on the same team. But then you have these Splatfests where it's like, oh, you guys are on the same team together. And it's like, why can't we do this every time we play? Why does it have to be like this? And so, just so many strange choices, and like you said too, the reasoning behind it just seems kind of weak. And it's not like there's a shortage of games that they couldn't say, hey, let's delay this a month or two and get this netcode done, right?
I don't think it has anything to do with netcode. It's a conscious. It has there's no technical limitation that they're running into here. This is Nintendo saying, we have made a decision about what is best for the player, and the best experience for the player is to be in the room with the 3 other people. And while, you know what, I bet you Nintendo's probably right. That probably is the best situation. But guess what? I live in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. I have to drive 45 minutes. No, I have to drive an hour to get to the nearest Apple store. Like, I live really far away, and I can count on one hand the number of people that I know in real life that have a Nintendo Switch, and it wouldn't even use all of my fingers. So, like, this is what was the thing on the DS where you would go,
the Street Pass and Spot Pass?
Yeah,
that
Street
kind of
Pass.
stuff?
This is Street Pass all over again. Nintendo's a Japanese company, and they always tend to think in this Japanese way of everybody's packed into these really small places, and things like Street Pass work, and things like you're trapped on the train with people and you're going to pull out your Switch and you guys are going to have fun playing a round of Mario Maker together. That's wonderful. But when you live in the backwoods like me, that kind of thing is not an option. I don't think I ever completed even one of the paintings in Street Pass on my 3DS, and the only reason I got the ones that I did was because I would go whenever we would go to the mall, which, by the way, was a half-hour drive. Whenever we'd go to the mall, I would bring my 3DS and we'd go out, walk into Best Buy, and it'd be like, "Hey, look at this! We've got some stuff for you." So
Right.
Nintendo just doesn't. They don't understand this stuff, and it's boggling to me.
And maybe that's really what it is. Maybe they, their internal meetings and things like that, they're like, hey, we're going to give them the opportunity to have matchmaking, right? Like, they viewed this as a plus, but it still just feels, and it is, don't get me wrong, the fact that they even added multiplayer to Mario Maker was a shock. It was a shock. We shouldn't have to be shocked by things like that in 2019, yeah. Right? But then the fact that it's like, well, we almost got it, guys. It was so close. We almost got it. That's what's strange, and chat's kind of mentioning, like, talking about the Switch being handheld and having to do like the hotspot on your phone and things like that. And like, I've been like at a cabin in the woods. Like last weekend, I was where I stayed the week prior. The Wi-Fi in the place we were at, one, was terrible, and two, it gave me a NAT type of D, which means you cannot connect to other consoles when you play the Switch, no matter what. So I would have to use my hotspot. That's when I just focused on. I played Final Fantasy VII, right? I just focused on single player games. I'm a little nervous about Mario Maker not connected to Wi-Fi at all, because I was just playing Mario Maker 1 on my 2DS while we were traveling, and without being connected to the internet, the only thing I could do was the Mario Challenge mode. I could, without being logged on, you can't do like the 100 Mario challenge where because it generates random levels for you created by the community.
So I wonder, well, it would be real nice. See, here we go. Nintendo, I've got an idea. Are you listening, Nintendo? Are you paying attention? Are you listening to me? All right, I've got an idea for you. Here's what you're going to do.
Oh boy.
Are you listening? You got to give us the ability to download 5 or 6 of those 100 Mario challenges so that when we're not online, we can play them. All right. Hopefully Nintendo listens, but they're not going to. They're going to say that you got to be online all the time.
What they did say is you can download stages to play offline. But I'd be willing to bet you go to Course World when you're not on Wi-Fi, and it's going to say there's nothing. I literally, like, when I tried it on my 2DS, I got an error code, like the no access point available, right?
Yeah.
And so maybe story mode will still be there, but that's similar to what you already have on the 2DS, the Mario Challenge or whatever it is. And once you play through that, it's kind of, they add some different objectives and things like that, but really where the game shines is when you can just go in and play, 100 Mario Challenge. You're doing expert mode, you're doing, easy mode, whatever that you have fun with, but it's not going to. And then the other question I have is, does that mode not work at all if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online?
Oh, the 100 Mario Challenge?
Yeah.
I would assume that it wouldn't work at all, because those are not going to be. Okay, so Nintendo Switch Online, like, that gets you all of the stuff that other people are making. But if you buy Mario Maker, you get the story mode, and you can make levels for yourself or the other people in your house, and that's pretty much it.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's going to sell a lot of Nintendo Switch Online subscriptions. I'm not happy about it, but I mean, it's online, so I get that we should have to pay for the stuff that's online. I mean, it would be kind of weird for them to say, you don't have to pay for Nintendo Switch Online in order to use these online features where you can download all these levels and stuff.
I think because of the way and don't get me wrong, the Wii U, the 3DS, they had free online, right? But to me, to have that stuff behind the paywall, I can understand multiplayer, because that's always been the case with any of these companies, Xbox, PlayStation, anything. For the most part, it was always the multiplayer is what you were paying for your online subscription for, right? If I wanted to play Halo 2 on my Xbox online, I had to have, otherwise I could play through the content and I could play the offline modes. But to see that I'm wondering if there's going to be some people that are going to kind of be shocked that they can't access that because they don't have Nintendo Switch Online.
Here's an analog to that, and I don't know if this counts or not. Think of Pokemon Let's Go. I can't test this because I have Nintendo Switch Online. Can you trade Pokemon over the internet without Nintendo Switch Online?
Looks like chat is saying no, you can't.
Okay, you can't. All right, well then, because I would assume that they would allow you to trade, but they wouldn't allow you to fight or to battle or whatever. But I guess you can't. And I want to respond to something that Nimbo Socks in chat said. I like that name. It's funny. They said, why do they have to change? They have a formula that's always worked for them. Why fix what's not broken? If we all subscribe to that why fix what's not broken mentality, then we would still be riding a damn horse. And maybe you like to ride horses, but that's fine. But I don't want to ride one to work. And that's why whoops, I didn't mean to hit the microphone. That's why you fix what's not broken. You improve things. And when you go from Super Mario Maker to Super Mario Maker 2, you would think, hey, let's improve this. And sure enough, they added in slopes, and they added in a couple other bosses, and they added in the ability for you to have the sliding
snake blocks
platform, the snake blocks, and the piranha plant that can go in and out. And that looked like very 3D. Yeah, there's improvements, but the improvement that everybody got excited for, the improvement that people that people lost their mind about was, oh my God, I can play with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people want. And Nintendo just seems bound and determined to not let us do what we want. And for the life of me, I can't understand their reasoning. And the reasoning that they gave is it's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's creating a problem. I know Nintendo is a creative company, but they are creating a problem where none exists.
Right.
So salty.
So on top of the lack of multiplayer, the other thing, after watching Game Explain's video and them talking about playing the game and creating levels with the controller, Nintendo told them they have no plans of, at least as a pre-order bonus. I don't know if it's something we can buy. I can't remember how the statement went exactly. But in other regions, there's a stylus for pre-ordering the game. There's a steelbook. There's like special editions of the game. There's like notepads so you can draw out your levels, things like this. Now, granted, we don't need that other stuff, but doesn't it seem strange that the US is being completely excluded from all that stuff?
Yeah, it does seem strange. I mean, I can't, I go to a lot of conferences as a teacher, and I can't tell you how many. I've got a drawer filled with styluses someplace for capacitive touchscreens. So that's not a big deal to me. But the idea that it's not an option for the US is just kind of weird. Like, what's the reasoning? It doesn't make any sense. Like, I can see with them saying, well, we did some research, and the last time that we did a thing with a pre-order bonus and stuff like that, the American audience really just didn't buy into it that much, or something like that. I could see if they even said something like that. But for them to just say, yeah, we're not going to sell those to you. Do you not like money? I mean, I like money. Do you like money, Josh?
Yeah, me too. You know, it's nice.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, you can trade it for goods and or services.
True.
And Nintendo just doesn't want our money for, like, because they could, you know how much money they spend on making a stupid little stylus? It's got to be like 5 cents or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to increase the price of the package for that by, I'm sure, a good amount, increasing their profit margins. It just seems silly for them to not offer that.
Yeah, that's it. Like we early on, we saw that there was different packages, different pre-order bonuses, things like that, and we kind of waited. I mean, look, a game like Bayonetta had special editions everywhere but here. Okay, that makes sense, but
right, because it's so popular in other territories.
Yeah, and it's not a Mario game. Right. But I mean, honestly, I was expecting a Mario Maker Switch with a D-pad for one of the Joy-Cons, like, so that you could easily play handheld. Some people were saying that some of the concepts showed like a stylus coming out of a Joy-Con so that you could, you know, create your levels and drop it back in and not lose it. And so it's just, it feels like there's kind of something strange in the air, almost like they've said, you know, they're not going to say there's new hardware or anything like that coming out, but I almost wonder if maybe there is, and it's sooner than later, and they don't want to have the consumers that buy the special edition to be upset that a cheaper or more powerful model came out like a month later. You know, I don't know if that is the case. That would be pretty forward thinking, especially as we're talking about what seems like backwards thinking as far as adding multiplayer with friends. It's just really strange decisions with this game. And for what, honestly, I believe is probably going to be, or at least had the potential, hopefully it's not been hindered now, but the potential to be one of Nintendo Switch's biggest titles, right?
I don't think that there's any chance at all that this is going to affect the bottom line, even for the people. Look, I'm just as mad about this, or disappointed, if we're going to be mom and dad here, I'm just as disappointed at Nintendo as anybody else about this. I'm still going to buy the damn game because it's Mario Maker 2 and it's going to be really fun. And I'm going to have a lot of fun playing endless Mario.
Mm-hmm.
I'm upset that I'm not going to get that cool multiplayer experience that I thought that I was going to get. And, you know, I know that there's also people out there who say, oh, well, you know, you just expected this and now you're mad that you're not getting it. Okay, but that's kind of like saying it's your fault I'm hitting you. You know what I mean? I'm allowed to be disappointed, and it's not a bad thing. But this game is going to sell so much. This is going to be a massive game for Nintendo, and that just reinforces the fact that they should have a special edition with a stylus and a yellow construction one. Or I know, Josh, you want the D-pad on the Joy-Cons.
I want a hard hat. Come on.
That's kind of like the Fallout 76 thing where you could buy the helmet and it came with that terrible bag.
Yes.
I want a hard hat and a hammer.
Yes, exactly. The other thing that I saw, I think it was Game Explain put up a video talking about like no amiibo. Like I want a Mario Maker amiibo. Like why?
Yeah.
You know, what's up with that? Like that was a huge part. And like you just released Smash and re-release all the amiibo again and new ones. And then now we're not even going to include that in the new game. I do want to hit on a positive note. Okay, let's talk about something positive.
There's been a lot of salt. Let's end the salt and bring the love.
Let's bring some, because this is an exciting day, guys. We saw a lot of gameplay. I saw the Koopa car in action. I gotta say, I love that, love it. But the best thing was the best thing for me was the fact that everything is unlocked right from the get-go. Or it might take, I think Andre on Game Explain said it might take an hour to unlock everything, or maybe that's what they did on the Wii. You know, it took 7 to 10 days if you just played once a day to unlock all the stuff in the first Mario Maker.
Now, I do remember that it was very frustrating that I had to do something like, it was like there were time gates in it, right?
You had to sign in once a day and create for 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, that was a bad move. So I'm very happy that everything's going to be unlocked very, very soon, because that means people can make those super dope levels for me to die over and over and over on as I try and do the mid-air shell jump.
The mid-air shell jump. Good luck. Those things are impossible. And chat is saying, I thought you unlocked stuff by playing the campaign. I think there are some things that still unlock. Here's what I'm going off of. Brian Altano from IGN said, everything is available from the get-go. So I don't know if there's a handful of special items that you can then get after the fact, right? I don't think we've seen everything that's in this game. I think there's still some surprises. It could be skins.
Like all that stuff that you used to unlock with your amiibo, where you would scan it in and you were like, okay, now I'm going to be Sonic and now I'm going to be this.
Right.
Like, I'll bet you that's the stuff that you unlock that doesn't affect gameplay. It just affects what your character looks like. And I think that's great. There
was an amiibo that did affect gameplay, and that was the 8-bit Mario. They allowed you to become giant, and you could actually run through blocks that wouldn't typically break. You could break blocks that couldn't typically break. And I saw some levels recently where people used that mushroom would come out of a pipe, and then you would have to lure that mushroom down to an area. Yeah, that one right there. And then, you know, so the way this level was set up, there was a ghost and then these blocks, and you'd have to get the mushroom down, hit one of the blocks. The ghost would take damage, or you'd take damage from the ghost. Then you'd have to rinse and repeat to be able to get through this area, because you needed that bigger Mario to get to the next section or whatever. And so, and you'd have to continue luring the mushroom past where the blocks you had broken or whatever. So there were some cool puzzle elements, and I hope that is still part of the. I hope that mushroom is still part of the game, right? Because that was, I mean, anything that could just add to the creativity, I think is a bonus. So it's just kind of surprising, I will say, Meowser was also a nice. Did you watching the videos where they like were placing Cat Bowser like on the?
No, I did not see that. I was at work all day. I came home, I recorded, and then I took a nap because I'm sick.
Gotcha. So when you place Cat Bowser, the game goes Meowser, like it says Meowser.
I love it.
Yeah, there's a ton of fun here, right? And so, like I said, I just didn't want to see, I didn't want to see all of it overshadowed by this one feature that we kind of all expected to be there. What is something that you're most anticipating about this game or most excited about?
Oh, easy answer. It's the fact that people can make specific goals in a level. So, like, go through the whole level without picking up a coin, or go through the whole level without losing your cape or your raccoon tail or whatever power up that they give you. They can say, go through the whole thing without killing something with a fireball. So even though I can go through and do a level and finish it, like, that gives me so much replay value of trying to go back again and do it the way that the person who made it intended. That seems incredibly exciting to me. And it very much reminds me of like World of Warcraft achievements, where you would go in and you would try and do a specific thing that isn't normally what the game is designed for, but they give you an achievement for doing this weird thing, and that's harder than usual. I always thought that was really cool. So that's what I'm most excited about from this game. What about you?
Oh, I love that. I love that feature also because it gives coins a little more of a purpose, right? And the giant coins that they mentioned that are new to this version, it's like you could like, hey, you need to collect 100 coins to complete this course. Well, there's a 50 right there, but am I going to be able to get, like, how do I go about collecting this without dying? Right? What's the trick here? And so I love that kind of stuff because it just adds to the like I said, it just adds to the creativity. And there for me, I always had this feeling with Mario Maker that it was like, okay, yeah, I'm getting to the end of the stage, but I never felt like there was a lot of reason to like collect an extra life or go after coins or things like that. And I think the fact that they added these little mini objectives, it just adds a whole nother layer of, like, you know, more reason to explore a level, things like that, or look for coins, or where the coin's hidden, things like that. But as far as the thing I'm the most excited for, I think overall, just the extra items, the switch blocks, the spike blocks, the blinky, like all these different things that are just going to be like there was already so much that people just kind of blew me away with the stuff. I mean, there's like walking, like, giant mechs that people created with the pieces in Mario Maker 1. I can't even imagine what the community is going to come up with now. And I think, honestly, though, the best feature is the filters. The fact that you can just, like,
oh my God, yes,
you know, pick the kind of stage you want to play.
Yeah, like, I love, and I think the people who make this stuff are extremely talented. I love those music levels where you just hold B and run to the right and it plays a song based on all the crap that's happening on the screen. I don't like trying to find a real level, and I hate saying that those aren't real levels. I feel like that's an insult to the people who make those things, but I don't like having all of that stuff like blocking everything up. So I 100% agree. The filters are going to be huge for this game. And yeah, we were really negative, but I still am very excited for this game.
Yeah, no, exactly. Again, it's I said it jokingly, but I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed because it really, I thought it felt like the complete package, and this kind of just takes it down a notch or two, you know. And again, we don't even know what the full package has to offer yet. We don't know what other styles there are. Like, I've heard people talk about like having Odyssey as a style, but they'd have to program everything to be able to be captured by Cappy. But I'm also thinking about the jumps you could do with Cappy, like you did in Odyssey. You could pull off some crazy stuff, right? And the ability to roll like Mario did in Odyssey would be bonkers. I'm still leaning towards Super Mario Brothers 2, since this is Mario Maker 2, and since styles don't seem to affect everything anymore, So
I would kill for Mario 2. I would kill people for that. To be able to jump on the enemies and just ride them for a minute and then pick them up and chuck them at something. And I want to be able to fight Wart, like bring Wart into the game, where you go to grab Bowser and you give him a shake and then bam, you got Wart, like that dude who's allergic to vegetables,
right?
Who somehow lives in a vegetable factory for some reason. I think that would be incredibly fun. Especially like bring in Peach and Toad and Luigi and have those same physics that they had in Mario 2, where Peach could like fly for a while and Toad was like super strong, so he could dig super fast. I just adore that game. Nimbo Socks is saying Hotel Mario style. No, thank you.
I've seen some crazy Paper Mario styles online that people have designed. Those have been crazy. But no, I'm with you. And if it was Super Mario Brothers 2, there's the chance that like maybe they say this is a Toad stage. You have to play as Toad in order to be able to dig fast enough or pick up items fast enough, whatever the case may be. And that also may be the reason that they're shying away from it, because, who knows. But I think there's something there, because there was an empty space. So I'm really hopeful there's something there. And I hope this game has continued to be supported, that we get DLC, like bring it on. I think this game is going to, like we said earlier, it's going to be massive. And
Mr. Furukawa, sometime last year, he said, we want to make sure that our tentpole titles have DLC. So I think that this is a great candidate for it, Josh. I think that seeing that little spot there, everybody's focusing on there's room for one more, but what you're not focusing on is that they could just throw a scroll bar on the right and just keep selling us new things every single year.
Right.
I think that would be the best way to do it, in my opinion.
So poor Super Mario Party's outside of camp. Apparently, it's just not quite, not quite a tent pole.
Are you excited about the phone integration where you can go through and download the stuff from your Nintendo Switch Online app? Like, is that exciting to you?
With are you talking about the eShop, or are you talking about with Mario Maker?
With Mario Maker, so I could go on my phone and I can go into the Mario Maker thing and be like, oh, I like that one, and then send it to your Switch.
I mean,
you think you're going to do that? I think it's a good option, but do you think that that's something you're going to take advantage of?
I actually have no clue. I haven't even thought about it. I'll be perfectly honest. I didn't even see that was something. Did they show that? Was that in the direct?
I think it was. Yeah. I could be remembering things wrong though. I am an old man and I have the memory of a goldfish. So
because I went through the entire direct yesterday and I don't recall seeing that, but I may have missed it. So. Shell Shock said, I don't think we have anything confirmed for the app yet. Smash World, though, you've got a lot of stuff there. I know a lot of people were anticipating it happening. I thought that's how we would update like comments and things like that, would be through mobile. But I'm not, I'm not quite sure. Are you doing a quick search to see if you can find something there?
No, I wasn't typing things because I didn't want the loud keyboard clickety clack happening.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't recall seeing anything yet, but it wouldn't surprise me, or maybe it would. Who knows at this point?
Are you a maker? Do you make or do you just play? Because I just play. I made like one level in Mario Maker 1.
So I'm At this point, I'm both. I'm spending quite a bit of time putting together guides for makers and for players. I'm trying to kind of double down here. Part of the reason is I hear so many people say, "Oh, I'm not creative enough," and things like that. And so what I'm trying to do is like knock that excuse out of the way, and hopefully help some people unlock those creative juices and be able to create some levels that are fun. And so part of it for me is I'm studying, like looking into level design. I'm going through, even the Super Mario Maker on the Wii U had a book that like showcased like different tips and tricks and ideas for your levels and little sections. And so that's actually pretty important to me. And I went through and created a level not too long ago that's impossible. Delmonic in chat is saying I make he makes levels, I make torture levels is what he said. But what I really have learned recently, that it's about allowing the player to have not only having fun but kind of showing them where to go, using coins to kind of say, hey, there might be something over here, that's why you want to jump this way. Or if it's a blind jump, to have them, follow coins to a section so that they're safe. Whereas I think my initial response was like, I'm going to create the hardest thing possible and nobody's going to be able to complete it. Well, okay. I mean, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's about having fun when people play these levels. And so it's really been kind of cool kind of studying that stuff. The other side of it too, I really want to be able to play expert and super expert levels. And so I've been practicing my face off trying to get these different jumps and things like that. And I knew all it boiled down to was taking a couple hours here and there and just practicing the moves over and over again to get the muscle memory to be able to do it. And I've been watching some other Mario Maker, Twitch streamers, YouTubers, things like that. And it's a lot of it is just boiled down. You just break down each section as you get to it. And it's like, oh, this is what I have to do here. Okay, this is what I have to do. And it's just problem solving 101, right? Just tearing it. Your problem is getting to the flag, and it's just dismantling each small problem until you figure it out. But so yeah, I would say I'm definitely both. The fact that we don't have a stylus, and if I'm going to be streaming, I'm not sure how many levels I will create on stream, creating with the controller. That's probably one of the things I'm the most concerned about.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that people focused so much on the fact that it needed a touch screen. I think that you're fine with a cursor and placing things, especially if they do the UI the right way. It doesn't have to be a terrible experience using because I'm not a touchscreen guy. In fact, I hate playing games with touchscreen. I don't like my hands in the way. So for me, I like the fact that I'll be able to create it without having to touch the screen. I think that that's probably, for me, the better way. But I also don't have the attention span to make a level, because when I try and make a level, I get, I don't know. Have you ever seen that meme where there's a beautiful drawing of a horse and then the front of the horse is just like some stick figure because they got bored?
Yes.
That's any Mario Maker level that I make. That's what it's like. It's like, man, he had some really good ideas at the beginning, but then he just got sick of this. And it's just like, all right, here's the flag, we're done.
That is hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I can totally see that. The beauty of it is, as long as it's like the other games, you can start, save, come back, reload, save more. So it's really just, for me, I've had fun exploring that aspect of it, because I feel like, and the first few levels I created with the original Mario Maker, I focused on what I enjoyed with Super Mario Brothers, and I created in that style. And so I just created levels that I thought would be similar to those levels I played back in the day. Maybe some different challenges, or maybe, you know, some little puzzles here and there. Nothing too major. And then as I look at them now, I'm like, I could just jump over that entire puzzle. Like I wasn't thinking, you know what I mean? Like, and so, or I made something just a little bit too difficult, and that would frustrate the player. So, I think, I think it's. Do you know how many levels were created in the last game?
It was very quickly that it hit over 1 million, and then I stopped paying attention. It was insane.
Yes, like I think it was 7.2 million levels have been created in the first Mario Maker.
And that's why you buy Mario Maker, is because you can just play Mario forever. Like, I almost feel like this is. It's a good thing Nintendo is very, very good at coming up with a brand new mechanic for each Mario game. Because now we got Mario Maker, I never have to buy another Mario game again until they come up with some crazy new mechanic that's not in this one. I'm like, oh, look, he can throw his hat.
They need to create Super Mario Brothers 4.
So you're saying the original? Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, but that's Super Mario World, right?
No, I'm talking like I saw a box recently where I don't know if it was like on, you know, Reddit or whatever. Somebody's like, Nintendo needs to release this, and it looked like kind of like Mario jumping in the air like in Mario 2, but it just said Super Mario Brothers 4. And so just like let Shigeru Miyamoto do his thing, like just let him create like
their mind.
Just another 8-bit. 8-bit enhanced, right? That's what we'll say. So it's and just let him do his thing. I'd love it. I'd love it. So, but well, right on, man. Let's wrap this thing up here. Where can people find you, my friend?
Oh, so many places, but the easiest way is to go to runjumpstomp.com. All my podcasts are there. I host Nintendo Switchcraft 3 days a week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I host Stadia Cast is on Sunday. That's all about Google Stadia. And then I have a podcast called Run Jump Stomp, which is just about video games in general. And I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp.
Got that branding on point.
I was lucky. Nobody else took Run Jump Stomp except for on Instagram. Somebody took Run Jump Stomp on Instagram, and I will never forgive them. That makes me sad. Somebody took N64 Josh on PS4, so I not even named Josh.
I won't be able to get that one. So, well, when I was very involved in the Destiny community, I did not have a PlayStation at the time, and so somebody beat me to it. So, you know, oh well. I'll be PlayStation Josh? I don't know. It just doesn't have the same ring to it, I don't think. So
PS4 Josh.
Yeah, PS4. There we go. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all the places at N64Josh. You can follow the show here at NPowercast. The show notes for this episode will be available at n64josh.com/NPC 212. And that's it. You know, you got your Discord? You guys, what's your Discord? You got a link for that?
Mine, it's runjumpstomp.com/Discord.
Well, there you go. If you guys want to go hang out there, my Discord, of course, n64josh.com/Discord. So some places to hang out. We have another show planned in the very near future here. We got to get a date figured out, but
very near future. If you've ever checked out one of our Voltron episodes before, it's me and Josh and the guys from Nintendo Pulse.
Yeah.
And we end up talking about E3 stuff mid-year, and then at the end of the year we do a show around Christmas time as well. So as a gift to all of you awesome people who listen.
Yes, exactly. So that'll be happening very soon. We will get we got to get a date figured out for that, because we just want to talk E3. You know, it's gonna be I don't even know. We get Pokemon on the 5th. I don't even know what E3 is gonna have now. It's gonna be bonkers, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to make your show go too long, so I won't start talking.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.
Bye.